Hi, how are you? And welcome back to my YouTube channel, Course by Sid. So today in this video, I'm going to show you what is ID and class in HTML. So let's say suppose we have one div, and within this div we have two headings. So let's say this is heading 1, and I'm going to copy paste this, and here I'll replace the text. This will be heading 2, and I'm going to copy paste this div one more time. So here within this div I'll give one ID, and this I'll be writing unique, right? Any name you can give, and here I'll write one class, and this class I'll name it as 1, or I'll write first class, right? And then I'm going to save this. Right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one style.css file, and then I'm going to connect this file right in the head. So here you can see that I have used link tag to connect my style.css file, and in the href I have written the file name style.css. Right, now what I'm going to do is just a second. First of all, here also I'm giving the ID, and I'll be writing as unique, let's say, and here I'll write class first. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give the red color to the class, right? So in this style.css file I'll write dot first, right? When you are using the class you have to use this dot, right? If you are using ID for the styling you have to write hash instead of this dot. So in the color I'll give, let's say I'm giving red color now, and then I'm going to save this. Now if I'll come back to my UI or the browser, so here you can see that it is all coming in red color, right? All the headings coming in red color. So let me come back to my Visual Studio Code, and here the reason is because we have used this class, right? And what is the difference between ID and class? So ID is basically an identifier which is unique, right? Like but class is not unique, right? You can you can have multiple classes in a div, right? But you cannot have multiple IDs in div. Reason being because ID is unique, right? So let's say suppose here I am giving second, right? And then I'm going to save this, and what I'm going to do here is that I'll write second, and then I'm going to give the color as blue, right? So now when I'll come back to my browser you can see that this first two, that is heading 1 and heading 2, all I'm going to for more clear understanding I'm going to rename the text. So this is my heading 1 and heading 2 and heading 3 and heading 4. So heading 1 and heading 2 will now appear in this blue color, and 3 and 4 will appear in red color, right? Because in the second we have given the property, color property as blue, and in the first we have given the color property as red, right? So now I'll come back to my browser to show this change. So here you can clearly see that this is heading 1 and this is heading 2, which is appearing in blue color, and this is heading 3 and heading 4, which is appearing in red color. Now if we'll talk about the ID, right? So as we have already mentioned that this is the unique, right? So let's say suppose for using the ID we have to write hash, which I have already told you before, and here I'll write unique, the name of my ID which I have used in the div. Right, let me check the spelling. Unique. Okay, and here I'm giving the color as, let's say, green, and then I'm going to save this. Now what you will observe on the UI, that each and everything, that is this heading H1, heading H2, heading H3, heading H4, all will appear in green color, right? So here you can see that in the browser that each and everything is coming in green color. Now the question will be arising in your mind that why these class colors are not applying, right? So the answer is that the identifier, that is ID, has more priority than the class. So let's say suppose here you have seen that this is all coming in green color, right? And here if I'll come back to my code and in the style.css file, so you can see that this is the color is in green color, right? And the classes color, which is individually I have given over here, for the first class that is red, and for the second that is blue, right? So the ID, that is the identifier, has more priority than the class, right? Let's say suppose if I'll change this ID to unique one, right? Now if I'll come back to my UI, so here you can see that now this has applied, right? Because here we haven't given any ID, right? So but what happens if we'll give this ID, this unique one ID, just a second, and here I'll give the color as orange, right? I'm going to save this. So now what happens, let me come back to my HTML file. So here you can see that we have this in the second div, we have one ID as unique one and the class as first, right? And in the style.css, the first class is red in color and the unique one will be the orange in color. So what that is this heading 3 and heading 4. So what will be the output, right? In which color this heading 3 and heading 4 will display? Definitely this will display in orange color, right? Because this identifier has more priority than this class, right? So let me come back to my UI. So here you can see that this heading 3 and this is heading 4 is displaying in orange color. So okay, thank you, that's all for this video, and I hope to meet you soon in the next video with some new topic. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, so I request you to kindly please subscribe it so that you can get the latest update from this channel. Thank you, that's all.